What if I told you your blood pressure could be slowly damaging your heart, brain, and kidneys without a single symptom? High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason, and most people don't even know they have it. In this video, you're going to discover what those blood pressure numbers really mean, how they affect your body, and, most importantly, how to take control before it's too late. This isn't about fear. It's about facts that could save your life. Let me be honest with you. Most people walking around with high blood pressure have absolutely no idea. They feel fine. No headaches, no dizziness, nothing. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. It's like a silent timer slowly counting down inside your body. In my opinion, we've normalized this idea that unless something hurts, we're healthy. But health doesn't work like that. High blood pressure is a perfect example of how damage can be happening quietly, day after day, until one day your body just says enough. And here's the scary part. According to global health data, over 1.2 billion people are living with hypertension, and nearly half of them don't know it. That's insane. It's like driving a car with your check engine light on and just ignoring it because the car still runs. This isn't fear-mongering. It's reality. I've seen patients come in for something minor, we check their vitals, and boom, blood pressure sky high. They're shocked, and they always ask the same thing. Why didn't I feel anything? Because it doesn't announce itself. It just damages, slowly, steadily. And that's why understanding this now, before there's a problem, might literally save your life down the road. What your blood pressure numbers really mean. Alright, let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense, because I know a lot of people hear 120/80 and just nod without really knowing what it means. Blood pressure is just the force of your blood pushing against your arteries as your heart pumps. That's it. Think of your arteries like garden hoses. When the heart pumps, it sends blood surging through those hoses, and that creates pressure on the walls. You've got two numbers. The top number, called systolic, is the pressure when your heart beats. The bottom number, diastolic, is the pressure when your heart rests between beats. So, if your blood pressure is 120/80, it means every heartbeat creates a pressure of 120 millimeters, and while it rests, the pressure drops to 80. Now here's my take. If you don't know these numbers, you're gambling with your health. This isn't just a nice-to-know kind of thing. These numbers are a real-time signal of what your heart and blood vessels are going through every second of the day. And if those numbers start creeping up, even just a little, you're forcing your heart to work harder than it should. I like to compare it to inflating a balloon. If you keep blowing more air than it can handle, eventually, it bursts. Your arteries aren't that different. The normal range, you want to be under 120 for systolic and under 80 for diastolic. Anything above that, that's already your body waving a red flag. Even just a little high isn't safe if it stays that way over time. In my experience, the earlier you understand this, the easier it is to fix. Once it starts climbing, it takes more effort and sometimes medication to bring it back down. Now, before we get into the real damage that high blood pressure can do inside your body, I just want to pause for a second. If this is making you think, why has no one ever explained it like this before? That's exactly why I create videos like this. Clear, straight to the point, and based on real experience. So, if you're learning something valuable right now, hit that like button. Not just to help this video, but to help more people who really need this kind of info. And if you're someone who actually cares about staying ahead when it comes to your health, not waiting for problems to show up, subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this regularly, and my goal is to make sure you're always one step ahead of whatever life throws at you. Alright, let's keep going, because what I'm about to show you next could change how you see your heart, your brain, and your overall health forever. Let's talk about what high blood pressure is actually doing inside your body, because here's the truth. It's not just about numbers on a screen, it's about damage. Real, physical damage. When your blood pressure stays high over time, it's like your heart and blood vessels are living under constant stress, and stress always leaves a mark. Let's start with the heart. Think about this. Your heart is a muscle, and just like any muscle, if it's forced to work harder non-stop, it gets bigger, but not in a good way. It becomes thick, stiff, and overworked. That leads to heart failure. I've seen patients with perfect cholesterol, no diabetes, but their heart gave out simply because their pressure was high for too long. Then there's the brain. High pressure can damage the arteries that feed your brain, making it easier for strokes to happen. And worse, if a weak spot in an artery balloons and bursts, that's called an aneurysm. It's deadly, and a lot of people never see it coming. Now, let's talk about the kidneys. These organs are like ultra-advanced filters working 24/7 to clean your blood, but they rely on delicate little blood vessels to do that job. And guess what high pressure does? It crushes those vessels. Over time, time you lose kidney function. I've seen patients go from just a little high to needing dialysis. It's heartbreaking and often preventable. Here's my take. Waiting until you feel something is the worst health strategy you can have. High blood pressure almost never gives you symptoms until the damage is already done. That's why being proactive is everything. This isn't about panic. It's about awareness. If you know what's going on inside your body, you can do something about it before it's too late. Now that you understand what high blood pressure can do to your body, let's talk about how you can actually bring it down naturally. No meds, no complicated routines, just real, sustainable changes. And I want to be clear here. I'm not against medication when it's necessary. I've seen it save lives. But personally, I believe medication should be a last resort, not the first option. Most people can make real improvements through lifestyle before ever needing a prescription. Let's start with the obvious, but often ignored: exercise. Regular movement, especially aerobic exercises like walking, cycling, or swimming, can lower your systolic pressure by 4 to 6 points. Add some resistance training, and the benefits get even better. Now, here's the part most people miss. You don't have to lose weight to see those improvements. Just the act of exercising consistently already helps. But if you do lose weight, the results can be even more impressive. Studies show that for every 1 kilogram, about 2.2 pounds, you lose, your blood pressure can drop by up to 2 points. That adds up fast. Now, let's talk diet. Reducing sodium intake is a game changer. Most people eat way more salt than they think, mostly from processed foods. Cutting back can drop your systolic pressure by nearly 5 points. And if you follow the DASH diet, which is packed with veggies, fruits, whole grains, and lean protein, you're giving your body the exact nutrients it needs to relax your arteries and improve blood flow. In my opinion, nutrition is where most people either win or lose the health game. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Also, watch your alcohol intake. I know it's not what people want to hear, but it matters. More than 2 drinks a day for men, or 1 for women, is linked to significantly higher blood pressure. If you care about your health, it's worth cutting back. And by the way, if weight loss is something you've been struggling with, I added a special link in the description. It leads to a powerful presentation that exposes how the weight loss industry has been misleading people for years and shows a natural method that's helping people slim down without falling into those same traps. Bottom line, you have more control than you think. Your daily choices, not your genetics, are what make the biggest difference in the long run. Alright, if you've made it this far, you now know what most people go their whole lives ignoring: what blood pressure really is, what it does to your body, and most importantly, how to take control of it. In my honest opinion, taking care of your health doesn't have to be complicated. What's hard is dealing with the damage that builds up when you don't. And with high blood pressure, the earlier you act, the easier it is to fix. So if this video gave you clarity, made you rethink your habits, or just taught you something new, hit the like button. It takes a second, and it helps this message reach more people who genuinely need it. And if you're serious about staying ahead of your health, subscribe to the channel. I break down real topics like this in a way that actually makes sense. Now, before you go, if weight loss has been one of your biggest struggles, check out the special link in the description. It leads to a secret presentation that exposes how the weight loss industry has been misleading people for years, and shows you a simple, natural method that's helping people slim down safely without crash diets or fake solutions. Go take a look. It might be exactly what you've been looking for. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.